Is it true that once you change this, say you want to change it to $2,000 this year, future boards can change it whatever they want, is that correct?
Yes or no?
The way it's currently written, yes.
Okay. I believe these people are pretty practical that live here. I'm pretty practical. I'm sure that if it said we want to change it one time to 2,000 or 2,500, I think that if you worded it that way, I bet you these people would be a lot more comfortable. Okay? Number 3. Okay, the 33% quorum. I agree, the 33% of a quorum that comes here, I don't think we've ever had a 33% quorum show up in this clubhouse. I agree with that. But to bring down the amount of votes to 116 people of the community, I think is a little bit far. These type of things, 116 people should not vote on what 580 people want. That being said, getting 580 people or a quorum of 65 people to vote on anything, it is impossible to do. So I think the 2 changes that I'd like to see is the wording of the 30K for the people that did not come here. They read it and said, oh, this is going to limit them to 30,000. What it doesn't say is it's raising it from 5,000 to 30,000, misleading. And I would like to see the fact that it says the quorum can be changed one time at X amount of dollars. I think you'd have a lot more votes and a lot more people on your side if you want to make these changes. That's just my input. And
Thank you, Tim.
Yes, sir, with that.
I have a comment on the bylaws, page 3, number 2, that says, "A director should appear at the board of directors meeting via telephone or other remote communication." At the last board meeting, I voted for Nick Aaron. I was told that he was moving to Chicago to Illinois. I have since learned that he has not moved to Chicago to Illinois. He's still in Chicago. I feel like I was shook.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
I got that impression during the meeting of the candidates.
No,
You were there.
what I stated was we bought a home in here to retire here someday. That was all that I said.
Something.
Pardon? No,
Something. It was evident.
no, it wasn't.
Okay, it was evident. When are you retired?
I don't have a clue, and I didn't know then, and I don't know now. I wouldn't have said that because I don't know.
do you have the ability to alter this? Like you said, maybe $30,000 isn't the magic number. Do you have the ability to alter the capital
Yes,
contribution
we
to one?
can.
That's what I would highly recommend doing to make people feel more comfortable.
You can always include a note saying that that's happening. I don't think that has to be put into the document itself. You just include a note that says it was 5,000 and raising it to 30.
Well, whatever it takes to make.
We can do that in the cover letter that goes out.
I mean, that's
We can
not,
add to that cover letter and say this is what it was stated and this is what it's going to be.
now, I don't understand your objection to the capital contribution. I mean, that's for people that move.
No,
in.
I want it. It's not an objection, but it's an objection to you being able to change it every year.
Well, that would be pretty silly, wouldn't it? I mean,
That's what it says.
well, it would be silly.
If you don't need it, then don't write it in.
I'm on your side, Joe.
Can I please talk?
Sure.
Any board that would keep raising a capital contribution would be saying, well, we don't want people to come live in our community. We don't want
Well,
people
you're
to buy
doing it right
houses
now.
here, and $1,000 won't do that. And if you're going to keep raising it, that
Well, you're doing
that
it
would be
right now.
outrageous.
You're doing it.
I agree with you guys. That would be silly.
Well, the other thing that I'd like everybody to remember is that whatever we do on behalf of all, we are included in that. We're homeowners in here also. We have to live by the same rules, and whatever is passed for you is passed for us also. So we're not going to be irresponsible and raise it. And we would bring that to board meeting anyway before it even happened and have a discussion on it.
I would like to ask Al Brecker a question. $5,000 in 2000, the year 2000 is not $5,000 today. It's a lot more with inflation and what have you that's gone on. I just want to know if you know what $5,000 today then would be worth today.
Hal?
We keep talking about the difficulty in getting two-thirds of the vote to pass things such as assessments. We passed a special assessment to create the Logan Gate. For those of you who are not here, those who
That has nothing to do with what we're trying to do.
Yes, it does. It has to do with the vote. Okay? We got more of the vote. We presented it to the people. The people voted on it, and the people passed it. The board did not take control. The only thing that the board did, and you said that you live here and that we can trust you, you, Drew Dash, were here when it was passed, and 140,000 when it was to be recouped from the developer was to be returned to the people, okay?
You know how very well.
Sir, I'm sorry, why did you run for the board?
Let's get back to the meeting.
Do I look crazy? Okay?
Hal, please sit down.
No, now, I'm not.
Hal, I'm going to adjourn the meeting and then I'm going to ask you to leave. Okay, the three items that we're looking at is number one, the $30,000. If you're not happy with the $30,000, what do you think would be?
5,000.
Again, some of us are in agreement with $30,000. We just
Okay.
don't want it stapled to this mass lot.
Okay,
Well, do we want to go back and pay and go through another process
Money
and get
and the money?
all the money to do this for a second document?
With respect to, no kidding, I'm not being patronizing, you guys do great work, okay? But what you're forgetting is that these things may be difficult to accomplish because they're supposed to be difficult to accomplish. If we don't want to, if $14,000, if we don't have the will to raise 387 votes, to vote for the improvement to pass the park, that's because the community doesn't have the will to do it. And we want to take
Is
this.
it the will or the interest of the people? We have found that a lot of the homeowners here just go along with what's there. And I think that you can find that in any given.
I think that's what you're counting on here, is that they'll just go along.
Yes.
I've lived here for about 12 years, and I'd like to reiterate what Jerry said. You will never get all the people who should be involved to vote. You will never do that. The amount of money that's going to be spent on duplicating all these forms, postage, sending it out, I doubt you'll even get the people to return the proxies. It will not pass. We're all sitting here just kind of having fun, and it's not going to pass anyway. My husband has been sending out emails to try to get the document rewrite committee. He's asked for street volunteers to go door to door, meet your neighbors, discuss the issues with them, and try to get understanding and approval. Guess how many people volunteered to be street people? 4? Really? And we're all looking at this as the board is evil and they're wicked and they're going to do terrible things. I really think this is a great community. I'm really sorry for the new people and I'm sorry he left. But we really need to do something. And I think rather than bitching and moaning and constantly picking and picking, nothing gets done. Nothing will get done. So don't even get aggravated. This isn't going to work. How can it work? Here we are, a certain small invited group who are interested. And we can't agree on squat. So, oh, good, so let's not do anything because everything is perfect just the way it is. These people gave you examples of what they're trying to fix. Do we trust them implicitly, blindly? No. But we do have a process. Excuse me.
Let her have the floor.
We do have a process, we do have an HOA, we do have governance. So let's give it a chance. But it won't pass, so I don't know why everybody's getting hyper. We're just here wasting our time, unless you guys really think we have a homeowners association that can do some good, and we care about our community.
Like you stated from the beginning, this was all about document revisions. Then you stuck in other things that have been brought up in the past. Every one of these clauses that relate to the document revisions, you have put in the last sentence saying why we need to change it, why it will affect us. Except for the ones you like the capital resale, like the change to the 30,000. All of those are things that you put in there because everyone else has it. So if you want us to change the document revisions, if you want us to make revisions to the document so that we're not penalized, then you should include those in here and we'll vote and we'll accept it. But all the other stuff, you should really just decide on separately.
In my own defense, I did put in there that the purpose of the capital contribution was to raise revenue. That is
It's
the
not a
purpose.
protection.
Well,
It's the unlimited authority to change it whenever they want thereafter.
So we can put a cap on that, we can say we need to bring that to the board.
Once, and I'll help you sell it. But that's it, any more.
We can leave it at, right now it's at $1,000 and we can leave it there. And we can just say in there that, will everybody agree that it has to go in front of a board meeting and people will have, you know, if we need the dollars, that it goes in front of a board meeting and it'll go out for a vote.
It has to. Can't think of it.
It gets approved like any amendment, 387 votes, and I'll help you sell it. But once, and if you want to do it again, then you got to bring it before all of the members again. And this nice lady short of people to help you canvass, I will help you canvass.
Okay, so if we do the, one time, we can change it one time, is what you're saying.
That's it.
One time. So it'll be $1,000 and everybody agrees with that, we can do $1,000 for the capital contribution and the board can change it once. That's what you just said.
No, the one change is from 0 to 1,000.
Okay,
That's the one change.
Okay.
Any more after that comes before us.
okay, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. Does anyone have an issue with
And
that?
you're going to have to do something about reducing amendment votes to 116. That's, I'll canvass against that door to door if you leave that in.
You gotta draw the line
That's a
somewhere.
deal breaker.
Where would you like to draw the line so it's easier to get?
Why does it need to change? At the very worst, it needs to be one more than half of our community. More people have to want something than don't. You can't take us down from 67% to 20.
I agree, more people have to want something than don't, but you have to factor out all of the people who don't care. And there's a significant number of those people.
Because I choose not to vote.
Look around, how many people are in this room?
It's irrelevant.
It's very relevant.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's supposed to be difficult. I'm sorry if doing your job is difficult. It's supposed to be.
I think you ought to run for the board. I think you ought to run for a position on the board.
I'm sorry.
We'd like to have you on the board.
I've been asked to.
I think it's relevant.
Someone else has a point. Would you like to stand?
I think it is relevant. I think the people that aren't here are just, all they're going to do is really just change it from the builder to the homeowners, the builder to the board, whatever that change is. It doesn't mean that they're not interested. Yes, there is always a fraction that isn't interested, but I would say that there are more people that have other things that are busy with kids, whatever. And all this seemed to be, oh, we're just changing it basically from the builder to the homeowners association.
Well,
Yeah, from what I've heard tonight, I can go along with the changes, because most of them are definitely beneficial to us. It's gonna help. One of the issues gonna get cleared up. I don't want the board changing the cap contributions. You've already agreed that you could modify that. It's $1,000, you come back to us to ask. And then, I believe, on topic number 8, reducing the vote count down to 116 is totally incorrect. Going down to 51%, I think most of the homeowners could agree that would be.
And I'll sell that too.
Okay, go down to 51%.
okay, so you're saying that everybody in here would agree if we changed it to 51% of the people have to vote?
Yeah.
291.
291 is at the 51%? Okay, and then what about the 30,000?
So I think it's okay.
Everybody says it's okay.
One
In
time,
Well, it is. That's
Well,
what it
it's
says.
$30,000 within a calendar year, which is less than what we can spend right now.
Yeah.
The lady, and
I have a couple of questions. First, I'll talk about the 30,000. It's 30,000 in a calendar year, but now what if you only spend 10 of it? Does that roll over to the next year, or is it over? How is that going to be clarified?
no.
It would be over, I don't think it needs to be clarified. It's 30,000 in the calendar year, there's no rollover. It's not a budget item.
They can't go back to that money and say we didn't use it this year, but now we're going to now.
Yeah, it would, they could save up a piggy bank and save up 120,000 in 3 years from now, or something like that.
Well, I just want to, it may seem like a silly question, but I think it's a clarification.
No, I understand.
In looking at this, and looking at these pages, what I wrote down is, quite honestly, a lot of this seemed very vague to me. It isn't that I'm so much against it, it's just that it needed clarification. And I don't even know where some of these people, like changing our leases to allowing 2 leases per year as opposed to 1. Did someone ask for this? I mean, where did that come from? Why is that change even in here?
There have been homeowners who lease their homes and would like to do it more than once a year.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I agree with that one, but even the wording of that, I think would need to be changed. The resale capital contribution we discussed is honored by the board from time to time, that they can change it. I think that all needs to be changed. And the part about regulation of dangerous pets, I mean, what does that mean? People talked about it, but I didn't really understand what he meant.
There was a dog attack in this community a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Part of the problem of trying to enforce removal of the pet was there's a little bit of vagueness.
Don't you call animals control, don't they handle it?
They came in, but they didn't remove the pet.
Okay, so the board's going to have approval or authority to remove the pet? Is that what you're...
The documents currently provide that the board can require the removal, again, off the top of my head, I believe it's for a nuisance animal. And what we did is we added language that said, which I think is a good thing, that if there's a dangerous animal, that even if animal control won't, the board can require the removal of the dangerous pet.
And then other things too, the other articles of incorporation, the indemnification of the directors. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, if that was something they're supposed to be. I think a lot of this is just kind of vague. And like he was saying, I do agree with him, I agree with him with slogan, that you can't expect us to approve the way this sits right here, even with the minor changes we discussed. There's a lot of the things that are just done.
Right, and there's no vote taken tonight of membership. This is admittedly a non-exhaustive list. It would be a very, very long document to highlight every single change. It would be very expensive and costly. I purposely did not put every single change. A lot of it is just a mimic of or a mirror of the new statute, right? So.
So you're saying there's more than this, or?
Oh, yeah.
Of course there's more, right? Because there's many, many changes. This is a non-exhaustive list of, look, I've done this many, many times in communities. And we've talked about everything that we talked about tonight, and every hot topic, every other time I've done this. So what I try to do is highlight the things that I know people are going to want to talk about and want to potentially have issues over. I don't anticipate having objections over the other items that are sometimes clerical, sometimes administrative, sometimes a reflection of what the statute says now as opposed to what is said then.
I have a question for the board. Line 7, declarations regarding the modification of the architectural application. What is that mean exactly? I know what the current process is. What are they modifying it to?
The proposed revised process, the current process has this mechanism where you request approval. If you get approval, you have so many days to do it. You have to notify the board that it was done. That triggers the board's obligation to go say, okay, was it actually done within so many number of days? And that's just, this is the only community I work with that has such a mechanism. And it just opens up the door for too many people to miss something, whether it be the owner or the association. The new process says that you apply, you get approved, you get a time frame to complete with it. Right? That's pretty much, I don't want to say it's simplified, but it's not nearly as cumbersome from a, well, you go do it, you tell us you're done, we're going to check it, we're going to tell you that it was done properly. I think it simplifies the process in that regard. There may be a change in terms of requiring blueprints if it's a type of change that would require some sort of a plan, right, or a set of plans, which is very common. The statute changed in 2008 to remove a lot of the subjectivity of architectural review, and so some of those changes from the 2008 statutory change in the documents regarding architectural criteria and stuff like that should be adopted if it's not already acted on.
I think the $1,000 contribution is great. One time, leave it there. That'll be great for after start working. Once people put it out ready, I totally agree with that. The $30,000 we're talking about, to clarify, you get $30,000 one time for the year, correct? That means all $5,000 on you could prove are gone.
That's right.